I call you when I need you and my heart's on fire. You come to me wild and wild. You come to me and give me everything I need. Give me a lifetime of promises and a world of dreams. Speak the language of love like you know what it means. And it can't be wrong. Take my heart and make it strong, babe. You're simply the best, better than all the rest, better than anyone I've ever met. And I'm stuck on your heart. I hang on every word you say. Will tear us apart. Baby, I would rather be dead. In your heart I see the start of every night and every day. In your eyes I get lost, I get washed away. Just as long as I'm here in your arms, I can be in no better place. You're simply the best, better than all the rest, better than anyone I've ever met. And I'm stuck on your heart. I hang on every word you say. Will tear us apart. Baby, I'd rather be dead. Oh, each time you leave me I start losing control. Like you're walking away with my heart and my soul. I can feel you, babe, even when I'm alone. Baby, don't let go, 'cause you're simply the best, better than all the rest, better than anyone I've ever met. And I'm stuck on your heartbeat. I hang on every word you say. Will tear us apart. Well, I would rather be dead. Ooh. Oh, you're the best.
On behalf of Brad and Sarah, welcome and thank you for being here. They are thrilled that you are here today to share in their joy during this wonderful moment of their lives. By your presence, you celebrate with them the love they have discovered in each other, and you support their decision to commit themselves to one another for the rest of their lives. Today, we acknowledge that this wedding is a symbol. This ceremony cannot create a relationship that does not already exist or has not already been strengthened by the commitments Brad and Sarah have made to each other, big and small, heartfelt and meaningful since they first met. What we celebrate today is not the beginning of a partnership, but the recognition of one already in progress. This ceremony is a symbol of how far Brad and Sarah have come together and of the promises they will continue to make to each other throughout their lives. I now invite Carmanda, the maid of honor, to come forward and
you good? Hi everyone. My name is Carmanda Murphy, and Sarah Wade and I have been best friends for the last 16 years. And I say Sarah Wade because that's what I've called her for 16 years, and it just felt right. It all started for Sarah Wade and I when we ended up at the same junior high school together. And let me tell you, when I saw that contagious smile, I was like, okay, well, the rest of the people are done for because our friendship is going to be a force to be reckoned with. I had never met someone so beautiful, but also so kind, so outgoing, and fun. And I knew I needed you in my life, and yeah, I knew it was going to be dangerous for the rest of everyone. We only became closer and closer as we went into high school. We became so close, in fact, that Sarah Wade went to prom with my boyfriend twice. And I know you guys are all thinking, who in the world lets their boyfriend take Sarah Wade to prom twice? But I think that's a testament to who she is and what she means to me. And let me tell you, in 2008 and in 2009, you looked beautiful, but today you are taking my breath away. You're stunning. And I ask everyone here, if you haven't already, when she walks down the aisle, check out her butt. It looks good. It is after high school, however, when Sarah Wade and I made most of our memories as we attended Université Saint-Anne together for 2 years as dorm room neighbors. And if anybody here can tell us what we did for those 2 years, please let me know after the ceremony. I'm pretty sure we had a lot of fun. I don't think we got into any trouble. It's not like you ever did anything embarrassing that I could use on your wedding day and the speech to embarrass you. No, I didn't think so. Sarah Wade and I both grew up without any sisters. So the easy thing for me to say would be, you're like the sister I always wanted, but you're so much more than that. You're just the person I've always needed. When I picture the best days of my life, you were right there beside me. And then when the bad days came, you were right there beside me. You've proven time and time again that your friendship is unwavering, it's unconditional. You taught me what it means to be a friend, and I try to be more and more like you every day. I think I'm the luckiest girl in the world that I get to have you as a best friend. It surprises me zero that you found someone that you can give this much love to and that loves you back so much just by all the love you've always given me and you've always shown your parents. It's what you set out to find and you found it. So Brad, so many things I could say about you. I could tell these lovely people all of your great qualities. There are many. I could tell them the day Sarah Wade knew she was in love with you, but I'm going to use this story to explain just how highly I think of you. Apparently, I've bragged you up a lot around home. So lately, as I've been going on dates or testing out the waters, my father's first question is, okay, is he as good as Sarah Wade's fellow? Okay, this is now the standard in my household, and you've set the bar so high. Thank you for being the upstanding man that you are, for always letting me into your home, and for loving Sarah Wade for all that she is. I love you. Sarah Wade and I had a quote that helped us navigate through life. That quote was, "What really matters?" It was our way to put into perspective what's important and what's not worth worrying about. And girl, today you get your answer. This is what matters, all of this. My advice for you as you continue your life together is to keep doing what you're doing. Keep communicating, keep encouraging each other, keep going on adventures, and keep loving with all your heart, because you guys have got it figured out. And I cannot wait to see what this life is going to bring you. Congrats, and I love you, Sarah MacKeil.
Okay, and next we have Ben, Brad's brother, who's going to give a speech.
I feel bad following that. Yeah, if I knew how I would. I'll start off by saying, hello, I'm Ben, and this is very hard for me. I have a drinking problem, and, the wrong speech. I Googled a lot of speeches and watched a few wedding films, but none of those speeches really felt right or heartfelt enough for my big brother's wedding. So I did what anybody would do. Just bear with me. English was definitely not that writer's first language. So there's 20 seconds left in the third period. The score is tied. It's game 7. He gets the pass from his defenseman, stick handles across the blue line, and dekes out the opposing defender. It's a high-pressure moment. He's running out of time. Everything's on the line. He looks up, he glances at the goalie, and sees the line to the back of the net. And then he shoots. I know what this might sound like to most of you, but to Brad, at 34, it's a metaphor for his life. Congrats for finally getting here. As the older brother by only 18 months to the faster, stronger, less balding, younger brother, you can imagine there was tension at times, as there is in any brotherhood. But we got through it, didn't we? Without any trauma or serious violence. Except that one time you did bitch slap me for resetting the Nintendo. They didn't save the game for that. And as the oldest, you might expect Brad to be the trailblazer. It makes sense. The first to move out of home and go to university? Check. The first to drop out of university? Check. The first to start going bald? Again. Check. But he's also the first one to be there if anyone in his family needs him. Brad is always thinking about others, a trait that is always welcomed by Sarah, except in the bedroom. Too much? Can everybody hear me? Brad and Sarah did a great job in planning this wedding, so let's give them a hand for that. What most of you probably would never realize is that they planned all of this on a shoestring. Brad has always had a tendency to be cheap. We'll call it what we want. Brad is the kind of guy, he'll give you the shirt off his back as long as he got it at a 2-for-1 deal. He'll do anything to help you out, as long as it doesn't interfere with Rusty's schedule. He can solve any problem as long as it involves numbers and no words bigger than 8 letters. He can become a master of any craft to which he commits, as long as the craft is in a blue box with noodles and powdered cheese. He can stand his ground on the ice, as long as his ass is grounded on the bench. And he's a loving brother, son, nephew, grandson, and friend who will love his wife above all else. Who will hold no commitment higher than his relationship, apart from that special relationship he has with being cheap. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't. Brad and Sarah were engaged in October last year. He proposed on one of their favorite hikes at Cape Split. Their love of hiking cleared trails for a budding relationship and eventually to that special day. At about that same time, Brad founded a company called Ring Rescue with his friend and classmate, Patrick, our esteemed MC here tonight. Those of you who know Ring Rescue should have seen this coming. For those of you who don't, a brief explanation. Ring Rescue is a genius and innovative invention. It's designed for medical and retail purposes to help the common problem of rings stuck on fingers. Its purpose is to remove rings. Is it any coincidence this product was developed at about the same time you got engaged? Hopefully you don't have to be the first one to test it out. Brad told me that when he asked Bruce, Sarah's father, for her hand in marriage, he was so excited that he gave Brad a big kiss on the lips. I think this is a true story. So first of all, Bruce must have really been hoping to find someone great for Sarah, and secondly, wrong brother Bruce. So congratulations to Bruce and Rose for raising such a lovely daughter. I wanted to sing Every Rose Has Its Thorn, but I think you've grown a beautiful blossom here instead. I have so far lived a privileged life. I've walked the boardwalk of Nice in the rain, explored the heights of Machu Picchu not once but twice, had the chance to live with Brad for a year in New Zealand, and after all that, I hold no privilege higher than being able to call Brad my brother. We were fortunate to have the most amazing parents that afforded us happiness, which no doubt has allowed us the privilege of finding the most amazing partners. And Brad has found just that. From a small boy staring at stars, wondering what's possible, to a backyard here in Belnan, finally acknowledging that now he knows your once upon a time is here. It's now. Brad and Sarah are really hoping everyone relaxes and enjoys their night tonight. Brad was explaining to me that the delicious meal was charged on a per head basis. So on behalf of Brad and Sarah, I'd like to thank everybody who didn't show up. They'll never know. So as a view across the ocean to the endless horizon, and as the digits of pi, may your love remain forever infinite. May your best yesterdays be your worst tomorrows. And may all that you dream for be the least you ever get. From all 206 of us here tonight, who, yes, we're all asked to bring their own booze, we love you. So again, it's a high-pressure moment, and he's running out of time. Everything's on the line. He stick handles over the blue line, and he looks up. This time, he glances into Sarah's eyes, and he sees her soul. And then he shoots, but this time, he scores. It's no longer a metaphor, and thank God, Brad was always a bad hockey player. One more thing. In moments like this, I think it's important to stop. We should take a breath and look around. As their children, we're in the yard of the parents who built us, in the house where they raised us, surrounded by the family that supported us, and by friends and loved ones who helped. It's a beautiful day. The trees, the sun, the flowers, the lack of hurricanes, and the nerves. My nerves, Carm's nerves, our parents' nerves, and undoubtedly Brad and Sarah's nerves. And everybody else's nerves that somebody just might screw something up. But despite that, let's all take a collective breath to pause for a moment and recognize how it took everyone here to create this unforgettable and important moment. Where true love, a product of each person sitting here today, has found its perfect resting place. I couldn't be happier to help us all reflect on this, its magnitude, its beauty, and its unwavering endurance. Those here who have found it know its power, and those of us who haven't can only hope we someday do. To the love of this moment shared with everyone here, and more importantly at this specific and unforgettable moment in time, to Brad finding his Sarah, and to Sarah finding her Brad. This is your day, and we love you. So one final thing. I'll ask you to face each other. Come a little bit closer. Ask Sarah to put one hand flat into the air, and Brad to put his on top of Sarah's. And then Sarah to put her next hand on top of Brad's, and to Brad to put his hand on top of Sarah's. Let us all recognize this moment with all the love in the world, as the last time, Brad, you'll ever have the upper hand. Lots of love to you both. From me, everyone here, we love you, and cheers to newlyweds.
Brad and Sarah will now share their vows.
I declare that I do not know of any lawful reason why I may not be joined in matrimony with Sarah. Call upon all present
To witness that I, Brad,
do take you, Sarah,
to be my lawful wife.
to be my lawful wedding partner.
call upon all present to witness that I, Sarah, do take you that you no longer to be my lawful wedding husband, and that you
These rings are a symbol of your marriage and a symbol of your life together. Bride, take Sarah's ring, place it on her finger, and please repeat after me. With this ring, I do wed.
With this ring, I do wed.
I will love, honor, and cherish you.
I will love, honor, and cherish you.
And this ring will be the symbol of my life.
And this ring will be the symbol of my life.
Take Sarah's ring, place it on her finger, and repeat after me. With this ring, I do wed.
With this ring, I do wed.
I will love, honor, and cherish you.
I will love, honor, and cherish you.
And this ring will be the symbol of my life. Now may those who wear these rings live in love all their days. Now may the love which has brought you together continue to grow and enrich your lives. May you continue to meet with courage any problems which may arise to challenge you. May your relationship always be one of love and trust. May the happiness you share today be with you always, and may everything you have said and done here today become a living truth in your lives. Brad and Sarah, let today not be your happiest day, but the beginning of your happiest days. Let all of what we have shared stay with you. By virtue of the authority vested in you by the Marriage Act, it is my honor to pronounce you married. Please seal your vows with a kiss. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor to introduce officially for the first time our newlyweds, the MacKeils.
It's been a long day. Things ain't been going my way, and though I need you, yeah, my mind.
And we are the proud parents of the girl, Brett. We'd like to thank you all so much for being here on this sunny Saturday. It was sunny earlier. In some way, each one of you has touched Brad and or Sarah's lives, and we are so glad that you are able to be here and share this day with us and with them. Special welcome to the Blanchard and the Wade families. Please make yourselves at home, and please have a great evening.
Yay, Brad! Woo!
Handsome too. Let's not get carried away.
We would also like to extend a special welcome to our Mexican daughter Zahia and her new husband Miguel.
son Nathan and our friend Pam from Mexico City. And we know that many of you have also traveled from a distance, and we're so glad that you were able to join us, as well as all of our friends who live a lot closer. I'd also like to say thanks a lot to friends and family for helping us get this place ready. It was a lot of work. And so many people have helped us in so many ways, whether it's simply just bringing us food at any given time or coming to share their time with us, mowing grass and putting up tents and washing pavements, especially Mike and Heather. My brother Mike, who lives next door, he and Heather seem to be here every other day for the last several weeks. We couldn't have done it without this. We really thank all the friends and family that we have that helped us.
You're proud of them.
Ann and I both come from large families, and I understand so does Bruce and Bros. And I like quotes. I also like candles, bubbles, and kites. But that's sort of getting away from where we are here. So, I'm going to turn it over to Ann here for a minute, and then I'll...
All right, now it's my turn. This is such a happy day.
Woohoo!
Yes.
It is a very happy day. We are so grateful to have been blessed with such wonderful children, and we are honored to be Brad's parents. Brad is a loving, sensitive, loyal, determined, smart man, and we are proud of him and the choices he has made in his life. From the time he was little, Brad has been creative and artistic in many ways. He is always ready to invent something or to solve any problems, especially if they are mathematical. Ben speaks Spanish, and Hannah speaks French, and Brad always claimed that his second language was mathematics. When he was little, he was forever drawing Ninja Turtles, or could be found ghost busting with his homemade power pack, or inventing any kind of device, often with Christopher, that would trip Stephen up when he came home from work. Brad always had the desire to play the rock and roll guitar. He has become a very talented musician, and in his humble way, shares his talent with family and friends. He shares this talent with everyone also in the rock and roll band, the Royal Nobodies, and acoustic duo, Handsome Jake and the Lonely Boys. Brad's loyalty shines through in the way he shows up for his family and friends. He is a devoted brother to Ben, and he loves his sister Hannah with all his heart. Friends and relationships are important to Brad. He has known Christopher since the time he was a baby. Justin became a friend and ally in junior high. Tim just showed up one day, and he's been around ever since. Brad still keeps in touch with many of his high school friends, his housemates from 94 Highland, and his friends from engineering days at SMU and Dow. Many of his colleagues from Spring-Loaded Technology have also become his friends. All of these people are important in his life. We are so happy that you have come to share this day with Brad and Sarah. We are happy to see this day come for Brad, especially since he always told us, "I'm never getting married." We are so, so happy that it is Sarah he picked to be his wife. She is definitely the one. It was obvious from the first time we met her. The way Brad looks at her, the way he talks about her, and the way they interact with each other. Brad is so happy. Sarah's infectious smile draws you in. Her sense of fun and adventure hooks you. Her loving spirit makes you want to be around her. To describe Sarah with one of Brad's childhood words, Sarah, you are so beautiful. Welcome to our family. Not quite done. Just like them, not quite done. Brad and Sarah, show your respect for each other. Always think twice before saying something hurtful. Love each other with all your hearts, and always kiss each other good night. We love you.
Now I can talk again. Finish off. Like I said, I like quotes, I like candles, bubbles, kites, but all that stuff is getting away from things. So as Brad and Sarah start their lives together as a family unit of their own, not really words of wisdom, but maybe a few words worth remembering. A definition of a family is consisting of two or more people related by birth, marriage, or adoption, often residing in the same house. A more modern definition includes partners, friends, and pets, such as Josie and Georgie and John and Frodo, and of course, Rusty. So, a few of quotes that I found. Number one, from Princess Diana, says, family is the most important thing. Treat your family like friends, and your friends like family. You are born into your family, and your family is born into you. No returns, no exchanges. Families are like fudge, mostly sweet, with a few nuts thrown in. George Burns said, happiness is a large, loving, caring, close-knit family, preferably in another city. Call it a clan, call it a network, call it a tribe, call it a family, call it whatever you want. Whoever you are, you need one. Walt Disney said, life is beautiful. It is about giving. It is about family. Family and friendships are two of the greatest facilitators of happiness. And the last and my favorite is from a song by the Avett Brothers. Always remember, there was nothing worth sharing like the love that let you share your name. Always remember, there was nothing worth sharing like the love that let you share your name. Congratulations to Brad and Sarah and MacKeil.
Bonjour. Je m'appelle Bruce A. Rose. Bienvenue. That's my French. Wow. Welcome. What a day. What a beautiful ceremony. We'd like to welcome you, one and all, near and far. And thank you for coming to share in this day. Thank you very much. We'd like to thank Brad's parents, Steve and Ann, for offering the beautiful property. A lot of effort by a lot of people went into this day, and there's just too many to name, and I don't know their names. So thanks to everybody. We really appreciate that. Working right, there it goes. Now let's see. Oh yeah, there is one here. The winner. On October 18th, 1990, at precisely 1440 local time, not Newfoundland time, local time, we were blessed with our only child, Sarah Elise Wade. Our lives had never been the same, only better day by day. Being an only child, you might think that you might think that Sarah got everything she wanted. Sarah has always wanted a brother or a sister. We're still working on that. Lost my place now. Sarah was a pretty little girl. Yeah, always eager to learn and to grow up, and was never at a loss for words. Obsessed with bicycles at an early age, and when she got one for Easter, she was over the moon. I still remember as if it was yesterday. She looked up at us and said, "Sassa's bike." Sassa stuck around for a good number of years and still can be heard on occasion.
Sarah always had a big, kind heart. Okay, we gotta fix this. Had a big heart, and as most of you know, she still has today. She was a little girl. She liked to, she always had to save things and rescue things. So bugs. You know, you had to rescue a bug and you had to put that bug outside so the bug would live.
Dad wouldn't kill it.
Dad wouldn't kill it, yeah. She needed to rescue the trees when it snowed really hard and they were just drooping down and snow-laden. She had to rescue them. Because, of course, everybody has to rescue a tree. Also very mindful of boundaries. She kicked the soccer ball once into the neighbor's lawn, but wouldn't retrieve it because they weren't home. Still to this day, Sarah is not a rule breaker. Fair to say that comes from me.
Sarah and I butted heads as she grew up. I said it was black, she said it was blue. Just childhood rebellion, I think. This was always against her dad, never her mom. Really, I didn't mean to hit her in the forehead with a horseshoe. Or cut her chin with her own skate. These were really just accidents. Just like I didn't mean to take Brad's head off, nearly take Brad's head off at Christmas with my new drone, right? Fly them inside, yeah.
You can tell I always felt like I had two kids, and I was the referee. Often heard in our house was, "Mom, Dad's bugging me."
Sarah and Rose always had a great relationship, and I'm happy to say they still do to this day. They talk nearly every day. In all seriousness, Sarah, you are the light of our life, our most cherished accomplishment. We watched you grow up and become the beautiful, kind, loving person that you are today. We're so proud of you and the great many achievements so far in your life, and I'm sure that there will be many, many more.
Then there was Brad. As normal, we are very cautious. You see, up until that point, we didn't have much luck with the boys. If we liked them, that meant they were doomed. Early on, it became apparent that this one was different. We saw a very different side of Sarah. It's like, ooh, could this be the one? Brad grew on us very quickly. He is smart, kind, and treats Sarah with respect and brings such a good balance to her. We have seen that Brad, like us and the MacKeils, values family. And we have no doubt that even though we are 3 hours away, Sarah will always be surrounded by a family that truly loves her.
When I first met Brad, I gave him my best Quasimodo impersonation. I won't do it.
Do
I was just preparing for my later impersonation. When I first heard about Brad, sorry, my first thought was, fudge. Thank fudge. It's not a headstand. But it turns out that Daddy Steve and Uncle Mike, yeah, Bruins fans. That was really bonus points for Brad. Right? Not really that he needed them. One night, and you may have heard something about this, I don't think it's true. One night at one of our family summer cabin trips on the Mersey River, Brad done the gentlemanly thing by discussing his marriage to my daughter. My memories are a little bit blurred from that night. But Ben, I don't think so. Right there. Yeah, where's that? Right on.
Oh my God, funny.
So it was quite late at night, and after a few too many maybe drinks, Brad and I stumbled back to the cabin. The next morning, or shortly thereafter, I guess, I tell Rose, he's gonna marry her. Rose said, oh my God! What did he say? I said, I don't know. He'll marry her.
Quite some memorable nights, I guess. Brad, we have never seen Sarah so happy.
Yeah.
She used to phone me crying when things were amiss with the boy. Now she is crying because she is just so happy. We are absolutely thrilled to have you as a son-in-law.
And although we already feel that you are a part of the family, we would like to formally welcome you to the Wade and extended families. Just in closing, we want to share a few words of wisdom, if you want to call them that. Not that we're overly wise.
So, just a couple. Marriage is a huge investment of time, of energy, and emotion. Protect and keep contributing to your investment.
Wow.
It's deep.
Number, so it's all about the investment. My words. Marriage is a lot of work. There will be ups and downs. Be prepared to give and take. Give and take can be small things like taking out the compost or sharing your food equally. In our case, it included some body parts.
Body parts, huh? Okay, so for those of you who don't know, before I married Rose, I had her blood type, checked her out. Rose donated a kidney to me almost 23 years ago.
Brad's blood type. Will you get that tonight? Just goes to show love has no boundaries. We love you both. Wish you nothing but happiness. So everyone, let's raise our glasses. Hold on.
I'll hold it up here, I don't mind.
Just wanted to show you my socks for today. Sarah got all the boys' socks with little pictures and stuff on them. Those socks are not Montreal Canadian socks. They are the socks that I wore almost 30 years ago when I married Rose. And I try to wear them every year, but sometimes I don't.
Anyway, so much. We want to, let's raise our glasses to the bride and groom.
Cheers.
But I doubt that very much because I've got nothing on this guy. Please, if you would, make welcome and congratulations, you two, for having Papa here at the ripe old age of 85 to sing for your wedding on this day. Say hi, if you would, please, Mr. Eric Bowers.
What can I say? I want to tell you a little story before I sing. You want to hear a little story? Yeah. I want to go back to do you ever hear tell of the 19s? Or before the 20s? Before the 20th century, before the 21st century even came in. Go back to 1956 or 57. You weren't even born then, I know. There was a young fellow in Bedford. Anybody know where Bedford is? Sure you do. Sure you do. You know where Bedford is. There was a young fellow in Bedford that just started a new job. He was working for the Nova Scotia Light and Power Company at that time.
And he was boarding at a place in Bedford where he'd get 3 meals a day and a place to sleep through the week, and then he would go home and sponge off his mother and father for the weekend. His name was Eric Bowers. Now that name may not mean a lot to you, but it means a lot to me because every time I sign a check, they cash it. Anyway, this young fella, Eric Bowers, was boarding at a place in Bedford. Believe it or not, then you could get a room and board for $12 a week. Can you imagine? Anyway, one evening, I thought I would go down to the bathroom and have a shave. The bathroom was just off the kitchen in this lady's house. I walked in and I started shaving with my electric razor, which I had just bought for $18.95. You can tell it's 1950, can't you? In the 50s. Anyway, there was a young lady living next door with her aunt for the summer. She had come up to get a job in Halifax from the county of Yarmouth in Nova Scotia. Do you know where that is? I guess so. It's right on the tip end. Anyway, this young fellow decides there's a girl out in that kitchen that I would like to take to the movies. So I laid down my electric razor and I went out and I said, would you like to go down to the show tonight? We used to call the theater the show. Would you like to go to the show with me tonight? And she said, yes, I'll go. That was in 1956. And since then, we have been married. We have raised 6 beautiful children, and we have had 13 grandchildren and loved every one of them. And we're so happy to be here today to help them celebrate with the first baby that my granddaughter, Anne, who's my oldest daughter, ever had. Oh. And I looked at him today, taking his vows with the girl that he loves, and I said, I remember the first time I saw that young fellow through a window in the hospital, and he was only a newborn baby. And that was Bradley, and we loved him ever since, and we'll love him forever. And now we'll love his lovely wife, who also goes back to Yarmouth County. By request, we'll do this one. I've held it all inward. The Lord knows I tried. It's an awful awakening in a country boy's life. To look in the mirror in total surprise at the hair on your shoulders, at the age in your eyes. Amanda, light of my life, fate should have made you a gentleman's wife. Amanda, light of my life, fate should have made you a gentleman's wife. It's a measure of people, and they don't understand the pressures of life in these hillbilly bands.
I got my first guitar when I was 19. Now I'm over 80, still picking things. Amanda, light of my life. Fate should have made you a gentleman's wife. Amanda, light of my life. Fate should have made you a gentleman's wife. Let's do it this way. Sarah, the light of my life. Fate should have made you a gentleman's